All right, so hi, I'm Jenna. I'm Jenna Gaidusek. This is Kelly Fridline here, unless if I totally said that wrong, because I can never say it.
No, you said it right.
Okay, cool. And then Sarah Durnez is here as well. And I'm pretty sure I didn't just butcher your last name. Right?
Nope, you did good.
Cool, okay. So the three of us have a combined background with over 16 years of just being in the virtual space. We've been in the interior design industry for much longer than that. Obviously not as long as many of you guys, and that's why we wanted to share our insight from the virtual space and just what we've been doing successfully for the past 5+ years each. So Sarah, do you want to just maybe give everybody kind of an overview of your background first? You're the only one on my screen right now. So
okay, perfect. So, all right. So I'm sure you guys remember what happened like 12 years ago. And I basically moved my business virtually in the last recession because I had a skill set that allowed me to already kind of think virtually. And through that, I was able to offer, a few hours a week to designers.
Can't hear it.
Started originally.
Can't hear anything.
Can everybody else hear me though?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. So
I can't hear anything.
Lauren, can you help her, please? You got to do it through chat and keep her muted.
So what started out as like kind of working part-time for designers, a few hours here, a few hours there, went to virtual, and I was able to work a 40-hour week for like 5 different designers who at the time had enough work to farm out, a few hours here and there doing drawings or whatever, but not busy enough to hire somebody full-time. And so that's literally how my business evolved into where we are now. And I have the opportunity to actually go back to like brick and mortar, working at a design firm, and I'm like, why? I've already done this for a few years. I love it. I get to hang out with my dogs. I don't have to get dressed or wear makeup if I don't want to. And I just saw value in it, and I enjoyed it, and I was good at it. So that's what I'm hoping to share with you guys today, is how I did that.
And how about you, Sarah? Kelly, do you want to tell us your background?
Sure. So I graduated in 2011 with my Master of Architecture from SCAD. While I was in school, I remember I had a professor that said, hey, concentrate on presentations and drawings and hand drawing and all those sorts of things, because you never know what can happen. And ironically, I actually spent a lot of time on hand drawing. And then when I graduated, the few firms that I worked for basically hired me as the art department. So I was really, really thrown in to more or less doing their presentations and getting them set up with renderings and doing their drawings. And whatchamacallit? Oh, I saw that, Amanda. That's awesome. So we probably ran into each other. She said she graduated from SCAD 08. Since I was architecture, they were on the 3rd floor. Interior designers were on the 2nd floor. So anyways, so needless to say, I ended up marrying an Army officer. I moved to Texas, worked for a design build for about 2 years, which is where I was introduced to Chief Architect. And then I got that itch where I was like, you know what? I just want to do this on my own. I had taken on a project for a friend and did everything for this renovation addition, which was in Michigan. I did the entire design in Texas, other than flying up to do takeoffs. And that was the full architectural design of a 2nd floor addition. And that made me realize that there is a lot that you can do virtually. There was a lot of Zoom time. There was a lot of, hey, sharing my screen, walking through the model, doing those sorts of things. And then when I went out on my own, I had actually joined Ivy. And there was a ton of Ivy designers that hired me. And then at that point in time, I met Sarah and I met Jenna, and I was introduced to the eDesign Tribe, and I've worked for quite a few of you guys. And it's really, really taken off, and it's an amazing experience, because once you realize, hey, I can interact with people, but then click end meeting at the same time, sometimes it's really nice.
It is.
So,
Thank you, Kelly. All right, well, I'll just give you guys a little background on me too. Thank you, ladies. Can you guys see the screen that I have up right now? I closed it down for a second to make sure I'm actually recording, because yesterday I forgot to record. I have a new computer, it's like not automatic. So I hope you guys can see this, but I'll give you a little background of me. For my background, I have a bachelor's degree in interior design. I worked for a higher end furniture company selling retail for 5 years after college, moved around a lot for that, and decided I didn't want to work for anybody else's money, especially for a corporate office. I've always loved rendering the virtual space in general, because I'm such an introvert really at heart. When it's like I don't want to leave my house, I get exhausted from like just going out and having conversations on a regular basis with people. So I like what you just said, Kelly, where it's like you can turn it off if you want to have it, turn it off and like spend time with your family and just like live your life. I enjoy that. So I set a lot of boundaries for myself for that reason, and eDesign has allowed me to do that. I left where I was working, and that's when I started with Laurel and Wolf, and that was in 2015. And they were actually paying their designers at that point. Sarah was actually with me then too. We didn't know it. We didn't know each other until about a year and a half ago. But they were actually paying. I was making pretty great money right out of the gate, and then I got pregnant, had a daughter, and was working for Decorist. And then I worked for Swatch Pop after that. But I was working for Laurel and Wolf and Decorist at the same time, literally making like, I don't know, $1,000 a month, living in a New York City apartment with a newborn baby that I had to nurse as I was sitting here like creating my designs, because I had no other option. I couldn't afford childcare. I couldn't afford anything. I could barely afford to leave my house in New York City. So I was like, I have to make this work. And we did. I simultaneously, as I was taking on projects to pay the rent and buy food, I was building what I have now, and that is starting from scratch, learning how to build a website. Never built a website before. So I started with Squarespace after researching all the other things, started with Squarespace, and then just trial and error. I was like, is this going to work on Pinterest? Is this going to work with a blog? Is this going to work to start a Facebook group in 2018? And it worked. But if I hadn't been pushed to do that by people that were in a community with me and in this like little monthly or weekly or bi-weekly group that we used to meet with, I never would have done this. Because like I said, I really am introverted. So like getting out and getting in front of people was really hard. But when you know what you're talking about, it makes it very easy to be able to do that. And I think all of you guys have really unique skills in so many different areas. And that's exciting, because now you just need to take all that and put it online and just really take that leap, which is honestly the scariest and most terrifying part of all of this, is literally just starting and doing it. But we've all done it, and now we just need to do it again in a different way. So that's a little bit about us and our backgrounds, but let's get into some cool stuff. So we're gonna talk about some current situations. I don't know if you guys have been watching any TV, but there's some stuff going on. So people might not be hiring a designer in person right now. So we're trying to find a different way to adapt all your skills. We're trying to look for immediate impacts for you to be able to start implementing so that you can really start making money, or really just set yourself up for the future, because everything that's going on right now is going to change everything. We know that. Like, people are probably going to start to work from home more. People are going to change the way that they live in their space. And yes, they might not be able to afford it now, but they're going to need us more than ever when they can, because they are going to be stuck in their four walls and start to go crazy. So we need to be there to help them with that. And there's a few different ways that we can do it immediately and then long term, so that we can start planting seeds for that. So I'll stop talking for a second. Sarah, do you want to add anything, or Kelly, to this?
Yeah, no, totally. We're not selling anything right now. Like, this is not the time to be promoting your services in the sense of like, oh, I just launched a new package or whatever, this is definitely a time to just get in front of people and make a connection. And if that's getting into a local Facebook group and just reaching out to people and like offering just something that they can do right now, just relating, connecting with people and planting the seeds like Jenna said, that's what needs to be happening right now. We're all in this together. We're all like, oh God, how long is this gonna last? Nobody has the answer. But what you can do is provide hope to everybody that this is gonna end and we're gonna get through this together. And in the meantime, let's do something fun, and just connect with people. That's what needs to happen right now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Kelly, anything you want to add to that?
I think that Sarah nailed it when it came to hope. As you guys know, we're all probably also sitting in our houses, looking at all the little projects that we'd love to do right now, but can't make a trip out to Home Depot at the same time. So we're not the only ones doing that. And I think something that we can do is remind them, hey, there's hope for the future. So even if it's just little DIYs, even if it's little tidbits of, hey guys, do you have a little extra paper? You can do those crafts. And my brother, don't hold me on this, because if there's someone in here who's a financial planner and they're going to be like, no, you did it wrong. My brother's in the financial industry, and he brought up that this whole thing about the Doolittle raid and how during World War II, we were in a market that was very low, and they weren't able to get it back, and it just plummeted from, obviously we were having the Great Depression at the time. It wasn't until the Doolittle raid, which was a very, very small bombing of Japan, that we saw a bounce back. And basically what that means is people saw hope for the first time in years. So hope is very powerful. So drill that in, give people as much hope as possible, and just remind them, hey, I know this is still relatively raw. We're still, that scab from 10 years, 12 years ago, that's still, some of us feel like we can pull that back really easily. Let them know that because of that, though, we can also be stronger. So.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Exactly. I gave this analogy in a live that I did. I don't even know what day it is, but it was this week someday. So at the end, I was talking about, I have this one weird cat, totally off topic from what you were just talking about with bombings, but this is banter, so let's just talk about it. So I have this cat that literally will not come to me unless if I go like this, show her what I'm gonna do to her when she comes over, give her some treats. And then she'll come over, and when she comes over, I cannot get her off of me. She is all over me and wants kisses all the time. That is kind of what we're telling you guys that we recommend for you to do when it comes to social media and planting seeds right now for these clients. It is a turnoff, and somebody said it in the, Sharon, in the comments, it is kind of a turnoff for people when you're like, buy my services, buy this, do that on social media. It's they can't do that right now. They don't know how much money they just lost in the stock market or what their next move is going to be. We don't know what's going to happen next week. I think we need to groom and, let them know we are here for you. We're here to help you for free. And I don't want to say for free, but through blog posts, through maybe if you want to activate a Facebook group that's client facing so that you can start grooming them so that when they can afford you, they know that you're the best in whatever that niche is. Okay. And then number 3 on here is riches are in the niches. This is not a new concept. When I first started eDesign, I did every kind of eDesign imaginable. I got no clients. I was doing it for Decorist and Lauren Wolf, but I was trying on my own. 0 clients because nobody was listening to the message that I had to say. I was dropping a beautiful render, a beautiful concept board in my social media and saying, here, come hire me. Nobody related to that. And if you're totally off the map where it's one day on Farmhouse, one day on Coastal, one day, yes, that's my thing, but there was a total disconnect between the modern things that I was posting and the consumers that were starting to follow me. So niching down, and that doesn't have to be a style. It can be a kitchen or, yeah, there you go, Nancy.
Yes.
Yes. Nancy, we love So yeah, that's what it is. Like, especially in the online world, you guys have to consider how many emails you get a day, right? How many emails, what you're scrolling through on social media. Like, there is so much content out there. This is why I don't listen to podcasts unless if it's Luann. But I don't listen to these things because, like, there's so much noise. Go figure it out for yourself, or find one person, one group of people that has a similar values to you that you do want to follow and you do understand and relate to what they're saying to you. And I think consumers are going to do the same thing when they're considering hiring a designer when we get through all this, or making the changes in their house right now and finding your great ideas online.
So just to answer Elle's question that came up, like if you don't want to start a group and it's something you could post either on your business page or your private page, like an example of like how to style a console or how to style something in your house, show them how to do it, and then have them participate. Just have people participate with stuff they have in their house right now and just make it fun. We've all got time on our hands and stuff, we're just trying to find things to do. So just engage with them that way. Teach them something, make it fun with what they already have, help provide a distraction. That's a great post to do.
And Elle has a great, sorry.
Yeah, you can do that in a local Facebook group or, just for your local community. You can do it on your own page, like whatever that may be, but something like that.
Elle personally connects with fashion and design and fashion. So Elle, go through your closet and maybe create an outfit and then a concept board that goes with that outfit style, and then present it online. Like, find your niche. You're into fashion, you're into design, share that with people. I personally don't post anything on my personal page on Facebook, which is like weird to some people, but I've been on it since high school, and it's just not where I want to do that, but some people do.
I think the other thing too is basically what we're saying too is maybe build a networking group. So if you guys have people that you like working with in the field or on a regular basis, and you have vendors or people local. So for all you know, your clients may have a specialty in something. You can build, if you want it to be all women, if you want it to be men, build a networking group, especially maybe if it's local. And then when we all get back together and we're all able to go out and actually go to a restaurant again, then you can say, hey guys, let's actually meet up. Let's do this. And then you're networking locally, but you're also giving people support. And clearly, by the amount of people who logged in, we're all really yearning to talk to people and see someone other than maybe our husbands. So,
Yeah. All right. We're going to talk about what we do, what tools we have for you guys, and kind of how you can implement all these things. This slide is a little out of whack. I probably should have bumped this guy to the back, but when I send out all this, I will. As you guys know, Kelly is Chief Architect Guru. Sarah does SketchUp. I do the platform, and my thing is Photoshop for concept boards. But with the platform, we just want to let you guys know that as you're going through all this stuff, you can use all the tools that we're telling you with other things, okay? You need to think of us like a plugin, okay? So if anybody uses WordPress or a browser extension, okay? So if you were to download an extra little plugin that goes with your program, that's kind of what the platform is here. So what we do is we kind of integrate with any way that you invoice or manage your business. And that could be through Ivy, Design Files, Stubzato, Mydoma, any of those things. The way that we have set up the platform, you guys can kind of go through and source either through our stuff or use your own, if you're invoicing people for your own furniture, if you're selling through trade, which that might not be happening right now. Let's talk about that for a second. I postponed the launch of the eShop, which doubled as a postpone for the Design and Buy software, because I don't think I can ship anything across the country right now. And then I don't want to hold money and then have things halfway through and then the world shuts down. So I had the control here of saying, I have to wait. It killed me to make that decision last weekend, but it's appropriate. So making these changes right now, it sucks, but it's something that we have to do. Sarah, do you have You look like you have something to say on that.
Oh no, I'm just like, oh God, yeah, I remember that decision. But that's the thing, like, we don't, nobody's the expert on this or knows, what things are gonna look like. And what it boils down to is just kind of being mindful about, maybe launching something like an e-shop. It'll come, it's coming. It's just, this isn't the time. But yeah, I was just nodding because it was like, I remember you making that decision on how difficult it was.
But it is the time to reach out. And if you are planning to sell anything through your site, you guys have the tools to do that too. You just need your, your resale certificate, really. But it is the time to navigate through that and to plant the seeds and to start figuring out what other revenue systems you could potentially get when the world is back, like get it set now, get it coded, get it, all the entries entered, get the blog posts written, do all the work now so that we can breathe, have backup things. A lot of people right now are just writing blog posts, and I love to see that because it's like, we hate writing blog posts because we're always behind, but now we finally have a chance to be like, oh my God, I'm good for the year.
And we've got a lot of designers also working on Shop the Looks.
Yep.
So, they buy a package from your website for $30, and that comes with, rendered floor plan. Granted, these are fictional spaces, but you're shopping the look, and then all of that comes with a shopping list. It's all affiliate links.
Well, here's the other thing too. So there's designers in here that may be a little bit more custom, that may be a little bit more kitchen and bath, that may be renovations, additions, remodels. That's, in my case, that's a little bit more of my wheelhouse because of my background. And in all honesty, how many of you, other than going on site and doing your initial takeoffs and then doing your meetings, other than presenting maybe your schematic design and then showing the materials and whatnot, how many times after that until it actually hits permitting or construction are you on site after they have approved it? So the real question is, because of that, if you were able to get your clients to give you basic dimensions, right? Just basic, have them sign something. Have it all over your drawing note saying, hey, this all needs to be field verified. These are dimensions that are provided by the client. Because if you're doing cabinets, your cabinet maker is going to show up and do takeoffs eventually anyways. So who's to say you can't turn around and give them a solid concept with the preconceived notion that, hey, let's nail this down while you're sitting in your house, because I'm going to provide you hope that kitchen that you've been looking at for the last 13 years and saving for, we're going to at least dream it up for you. And we're going to have fun, and we're going to direct your attention to somewhere other than CNN, or whatever news station you watch. Because I can tell you from somebody and anyone who's worked with me, it's like playing Sims, getting into these 3D things, and it really can be fun. You'd obviously want to put like a little bit of a hold on it in the sense of, hey guys, you get so many renditions of this, or we're going to charge hourly if you want to sit here for 2 hours as we change hardware. But it's something that also draws people's attentions away, and you can still do work from it, and you can still send everything virtual. All your presentations can be virtual. If so much of what you do is sample based, you can send them boxes of samples. You can do those sorts of things. You can order them directly. Who's to say that like the companies who are providing them are still going to send them out if you were to send them directly from the vendor or whatnot. But you can look at it and say, hey, let's get the design in place. And then we'll move forward when we can actually meet each other in person. So.
Yeah, that's great. And somebody else I don't know who DS Laptop is, but they said that I was planning on doing a kitchen and bath design packages that are ready-made so that people can implement them when they're available. So ready-made designs, create, quick little shop the looks, kind of have them purchase that type of thing, and then say, we can change out these things, and here's the fee structure for when we do need to change out anything from my shop the look board that was already created. But to go back to what you just said, Kelly, like implement what you can now, especially with the clients that this isn't affecting and that you are still working with, and then figure out maybe this will adapt your process for the future. So there isn't as much back and forth and running around and driving all over the place, because I get contacted daily with designers that have been in the industry for 30 plus years that say, I'm over it. I don't want to drive anymore. I don't want to go and do these things anymore, but I can't stop. Like, how do I stop this? And how do I, is that you, Phyllis? Yeah. Like, how do I, take what I know and my knowledge and put it online so that I don't have to keep up with this rat race anymore, because I'm over it. So I think that this is a great time for you to start implementing that and think about your entire process. Where can you adapt it to being virtual? And I promise you there's at least like 45-50% that can be done online that you don't have to get in your car and drive to. Like, the internet's an amazing thing. Google everything.
I wish I would have known this a year ago, because I'm an extrovert and I love to meet with people. But the 1st of October, I had a broken shoulder and I literally couldn't drive for 3 months. And so the wheels started to turn and I started to think about how can I put things in place in case that happens again.
Yeah.
And my other selfish motive is that I have a beautiful home up in the woods near Lake Superior, and it's a million miles from everybody, clients included. And I'd love to be able to just take my laptop up there and work all summer.
Yeah.
And then I wouldn't come back to Chicago every other week like I have to do now.
Yeah. That'll be nice. I think you'll have time to put some systems in place right now, Phyllis.
That's what I'm trying to do.
Perfect.
Try to use this time wisely.
Good. Okay, so let's talk about a few different ideas. Yeah, this slide's in order. Okay, so virtual offering ideas. This is not really new. This is something that I've always taught in my eDesign U courses, because those courses adapt to whatever your specialty is. Like, we are all super unique. Like, we do not all do exactly the same thing. And we are not cookie cutter the way that, Modsy and all those other things are. We actually have a thought process that goes behind design, and you guys are unique in that way. So right now, Zoom is so hot, right? Like, virtual conversations, like, everybody else in the world is like, oh my God, we have to have a virtual meeting, but we've been doing it forever as online designers. This is just how we communicate with people. But this is cool.
I wish I owned stock in this company.
Yeah, seriously. We should have in Slack, except for Slack can't handle it. Okay, so courses. I'm into courses. These ladies are doing courses because we have a knowledge and a skill set that other people want and will pay for, because we teach it in a way that nobody else on this planet teaches it. We do it in our unique way, and unique people that are taking our courses get a lot out of that. So you might take a few different things on the topic, but you learn little snippets from every course and every module that it all just comes together for you. So courses is a huge thing. Leslie and I have a course, and we're actually going to drop it down to $199 for you guys right now, just because it's that time. But it's a course on how to create courses. And you guys can do this for other designers if you have a skill set, or you can do it for consumers, for clients that might need DIY help and enjoy doing DIY help and little tasks around the house, but don't actually want to hire a designer. We all know those housewives, right? Like, they want all the cred, but they don't actually want to, acknowledge that they hired a designer, but they have a pretty good understanding of, design, and they're pretty good at finding things at Home Goods. So let's just give them a course and teach them exactly how to implement things. That is using your knowledge, selling it one time or creating it one time, and then making money off of it continuously, versus a one-on-one consultation, which you only get paid one time. And that's it. Okay, do you guys have anything to add on those? I know Kelly's course is launching soon. Sarah's recently just launched. I'm trying to look at all the comments as they're coming.
Yeah. No, and I created my course off of your course.
Yeah, you did it off of our course on how to, it's Inception over here. So, like, courses and courses. Okay, virtual staging. I keep getting a lot of messages asking me about virtual staging. You could use a render program. You could use a 2D drop-in using Photoshop. We will go over what the difference is here at the end of these slides. But basically, if you have a great photography shot, you can do it in Photoshop. You don't need to recreate the entire room again. You can do it in Photoshop, and I've been teaching that for almost 2 years now. So, okay, and then redesigning. Let's think about this for a second. The people that are sitting inside their house, they're not going to go out and buy stuff right now. Like, we know that, right? They're not shopping online because they don't know, like, money situations, shipping situations, but we got a lot of stuff in our house, and either we need to declutter it or we need to move it to another room to rearrange. I rearrange my house every single weekend. This is my dining table, now my office. But people want this. They want to refresh. They want to redesign what they already have, and they'll pay you for that kind of a consultation, right? So that's just a Zoom call. That's a 1-time or 2-time session. Video chat. They take you around the house and show you like what they're working with, and then you can help them to declutter and rearrange and just kind of be able to live better in their house right now while they're stuck in it. Anything else you guys want to interject before I move on? Okay. I can't tell, you guys are so tiny on there. Okay, so kitchen and bath, and we're going to come back to this, like retrofitting your LOA so that it is eDesign as well, you know, so that you can basically say like, yeah, we need to confirm these. I'm not going to be held liable for this. Here's the design plan tentative, but we really need to take those extra steps when we are able to make sure that this is, you know, going to work. I've never been in your space, but I mean, no.
Right. And Sarah and I can flat out tell you that any designer and those who have worked with us know what our agreement looks like. We have designers when we work with them and we help them either, you know, sometimes a designer will say, hey, I got this kitchen. I really want to work on it. I am completely swamped. Here's all my inspiration photos. Here's the existing, and go for it. If you think that we're not having them sign off on an LOA that is saying that we're not liable because there's no way in hell we're ever going to step foot in that site, you're kidding yourself. So you need to do the exact same thing. And if you don't have one yet, you absolutely need to make one before you take on one more project, and make sure that you have insurance as well. If you're doing anything that people are tearing down walls, demoing anything like that, like, you need insurance and you need them signing off things that have the word indemnify throughout that thing, like you wouldn't believe. Like,
mm-hmm. Yeah, for sure. Just make sure all your bases are covered.
Yeah.
Robin mentioned something. She's still getting clients, and I think a lot of people are still getting clients. I don't want to say that people are not, okay? But I know a lot of people are not in that situation in this group. So that's why we're tailoring this conversation to that, okay? And adapting current projects too, because we know that you guys are working on projects. We just need to learn how to work on those projects with our current situation. So totally get that. Okay, kitchen bath, let's see, passive income. So this is a great way to kind of reach your DIY market online, paint consultations, virtual staging, one-on-one, which could potentially be a hybrid later if it is a local client that you're doing virtually right now. And then you start planting those seeds and sharing that you are the expert in this space online, you know, through blog posts, through social media content, through email blasts, grow that email list, make sure that you have an opt-in for that actually converts people to being on your email list, because that is something you own. If the world stops turning and social media just breaks, you can download that, and I recommend you guys do that frequently. Download your list of emails. Yep, and back them up, because you own that. You have that. You have a way to communicate with them. Chances are email servers are not gonna, I just feel like I trust email servers more than I trust Facebook. Which is weird, but it's Gmail and then it's Facebook. So I don't know. I'd much rather own the entire list and be able to contact people when Facebook crashes, or Instagram. You know, like, just prepare for doomsday, like what we're doing everywhere else. We just got to do it virtually too. And then client-facing Facebook group that you can start building now. I was talking about it in my live the other day. It's a lot of work, but what else are you doing right now, right? Like, you're organizing your bookcase because it's time and you're sick of looking at it. Do a video, share it with your Facebook group.
You have people that are wanting to watch right now. You have a bunch of people that are not doing anything.
Yeah.
This is the time to get their attention.
Yeah. Yep. Show your little spruces up that you're doing around your house. People want to see that because they need ideas. They're going to the internet right now. They're going to Pinterest. They're going to Instagram, all of those things.
I can tell you, I've never watched more YouTube than like
No,
months
I'm not
after
even
having a
YouTube.
baby. I've watched more influencers, and my husband walks in, he's like, "What are you watching?" I'm like, I don't know. Somebody was going through what I'm going through, so I might as well watch it. She looks like a hot mess. I feel like a hot mess, so I can relate.
Kelly just had a baby, guys, by the way. She's literally, this is her first debut from being back from maternity leave. So she looks fabulous. I hear you. I'm like stuck in a loop, and I find my husband like, you know, just half an hour later, I'm like, where are you at? He's like, I'm stuck in a loop right now. I can't stop. And the videos. Oh my God. So anyway, with all these things that we were just talking about, the platform actually does, or will do, once we actually have a functioning e-shop here, a lot of them you can just do right in this platform. And that's why we say it's a plugin to your existing platforms that you use, because it's different. Like, there is not an affiliate program like this out there right now. We do a 10% affiliate commission, which is very high. If you guys aren't familiar with affiliates, it's very high for the affiliate realm. Now, here's the difference. Let me just explain what an affiliate is real quick. So an affiliate is when you basically get a referral commission when a consumer on the internet uses your affiliate link that is created by the vendor whose products you're selling. So when a consumer finds some piece of content that you've written and clicks on that affiliate link and purchases that item, you get a percentage of the sale. And there's no cost to you. It's a referral fee commission, basically. That's it. There's no work for you here. So I understand that a lot of you want to sell trade products because you get way more money. Totally get that. But a lot of you don't want to do that. You don't want to deal with the warehouses across the country and trying to figure out, and I'm talking virtual design here because that's what I do. So people don't want to have to coordinate across the country with a huge amount of shipments. You just want to give the affiliate link to that end user and have them do the order, have them deal with any issues and all of that. Like, you might not even know that they've ordered it unless if you got your, you know, or who it was that ordered it, because this could come from a blog post, it could come from social media, it could come from your client. You might not know exactly who purchased it, but you still made a commission off of that. So with our program, when the eShop launches, you will get a 10% affiliate commission. And what the eShop is basically we're taking those wholesale vendors. Wholesale vendors don't have an affiliate program because they're wholesale. They don't sell retail direct to the consumer. So what we've done is we've taken those wholesale brands that can drop ship or have a white glove service shipping in place to get the product to the end user, which is your client, and then to make you money in the middle. Okay. And that way it's more hands off. You don't have to deal with the order maintenance. We handle all that. Okay. Some vendors will ship to Canada, some will not. That's just the name of the game. And, you know, if I had control over that, I 100% would ship everything to Canada, but customs and prices and all of that stuff have to factor in. It's a lot of stuff. So we are doing our best to do that. Canadians can be an affiliate on the program. You guys just need to fill out a W-8 for that versus a W-9 for that. So you can still do it. I just, we're going through and we're looking at who ships to Canada, who doesn't ship to Canada, all that fun stuff, and getting that all together. So not only can you do this through anything that you want to send it on. So like you can grab these affiliate links and put them in blog posts directly on your site or any of that stuff. Yeah, Lauren just said a lot of them ship worldwide. There's just a fee. I mean, you have to pay customs. Like, we can't not pay customs. It is what it is. So we can ship it. It's just, do they want to pay double for the product to get it there? Probably not. So you can do, let me get back to the shopping thing. So you can do blog posts. Pretty soon we're going to have these beautiful shop the look boards that are going to come out that are literally generated in about 5 minutes from our entire database that pulls from Design Collective products, which is connecting brick and mortar. Because if you guys haven't checked out Design Collective, it's basically brick and mortar stores that all sell their products on one site, have all their shipping in place, and can get it direct to your client. They partnered with us to do a 4% affiliate commission with you guys and get their entire catalog. So I love the element of bringing brick and mortar and supporting brick and mortar to eDesign. And that's why I brought them onto the platform. So between their products and the eShop products, we funnel all of these things in real time into this database, and you guys can create clickable, shoppable concept boards that link to your affiliate and share them anywhere you want on the internet, okay? Here's an example of them right here. Since I have a little bit more time before I'm gonna actually launch this, since we can't ship anything right now, I've made a couple changes to the entire database to totally simplify it. Like, because the questions that I'm getting on the platform right now, I'm like, I can simplify this so much more, and that's what we're doing. So we're just taking this extra time to streamline, just like what you guys are doing. We're streamlining this thing so there's no question here. So when it officially launches, it'll be ready for you guys. The other thing is you can create shoppable renders. Well, you will be able to. They are custom coding that for our render program for you guys, which is not available if you just go to Kuhom's site. This is a whole new feature for us. We also have an enterprise library that is a collective library of the eShop products that we sell, so that when you are sourcing and getting that 10% affiliate commission, they show up in the render program, so you can just drop them in. We have, what is this here, 5 to 10? I got more emails for you, by the way, for people that want to build SketchUp models.
We have 5 people right now that are like just pumping out models. I've been watching notifications come up on my computer right now as we speak of people putting stuff on my Dropbox. So it's growing.
Yeah.
That's a lot of people.
Yeah. It's
and I can
models like you would not believe. We just need to upload them, and the process to upload them takes so much time. So bear with us. We're working on it. We have like a few that are going to be up later this week. Kitchen and bath. Okay, so you guys are asking about what's going to be on there. So you guys can add your own products to the entire system. You can add them in the Design in 5 database. You can add manually. You can add whatever you want in there, so that in your final shopping board, it's in there, either directed to an invoice. So if you are using some kind of a system that presents an invoice, I just use Wave because it's free, and it creates branded invoices, and then I link products that I'm selling wholesale to that with my consumer. And then she can, with my client, sorry, and then she can just pay the invoice right there. This program links to that. So if you're using, like we said in the beginning, any other program, this is like a plugin. So you can really just add whatever, direct people to wherever you want to go. And the same for the render program. And that's what they're building right now, is that capability for you guys to, if you have a product in there and you don't want it to go to an affiliate link, or you don't want it to go to any URL, you just add the payment link to it. So you can send them when they're standing in the room and they want to shop that sofa, and they click on that sofa, then it goes right over to your invoice versus the affiliate link site. Okay, so it's totally open for you guys. I started this, I funded this, and I don't want to hinder your business. That is not my intention. My intention is to give you guys all the tools with what you're already working with to run and be a total powerhouse. That is what I want for every single one of you guys, okay? Okay, so we also have feature designers on the site for them to be able to connect with other people. We do things like this with Annalise on here. And Annalie, by the way, is our new, she's helping us with customer service in the Facebook group when it comes to the render program. So in the platform group, Annalie uses all 3 programs that these ladies use as well. We've just brought her on our team to be a one-on-one in the platform group to help you guys answer those questions in more real time. You can unmute yourself if you want to too. Hi. So she'll be helping us with all that. She's already started. If you guys haven't noticed, she's in there answering some of your questions. She's our girl for that. So while Sarah's on the back end helping create models and do all this stuff, and then Kelly's launching her course, we now have Annalie, which is wonderful. Believe it or not, I haven't played around with the program that much because of everything else that's been going on. So I'm super excited about that because I can't. So, okay. All right, I think that's it. You guys know about those other things. So what does it not do? Let's talk about that for a second. It's not a project management software. I get this question all the time. Does this substitute for design files? That is your decision. That is not something I'm going to decide for you. If you find that you don't need it because of the capabilities that we have on the platform, totally up to you if you decide to not proceed with them or with us or whatever you want to do, okay? We're just giving you different tools in different ways that you've never seen before. This does not create 2D concept boards, okay? So like Design Files does that, you can't just create a concept board from these images. We're creating shop the look boards. We're not creating 2D renders. 2D renders is what you can call them, I guess, or concept boards. I personally, and I know these ladies do too, always prefer Photoshop for those boards. It's the most efficient, it's the most professional looking, and the most...
I think some people, like, it may look good if you're using any other program besides Photoshop, it looks good on your screen, but when you send that out, you can tell you're not using a very good program. It does not look professional. Photoshop, you guys, like, seriously, everybody should be using it, because once you figure out like 4 things, you can take over the world knowing Photoshop and you'll use it forever.
Yeah, it's basically, if you're gonna invest in anything, go for the Adobe Creative Suite. Like, at least there's 3 that I use on a regular basis. Photoshop is #1 for renderings. And because you need it, even if you're using InDesign to put any kind of mood boards or anything together, you still need Photoshop to erase certain things from the background. So if you were to invest in anything other than obviously the platform, Chief Architect, or Sketchup, hey,
You don't need all those though, don't get worried. You don't need all those.
You don't need all of them. Just pick one and go from there. But I 100% go for Photoshop, then InDesign, and then if you're feeling really adventurous, then look into Illustrator. So.
And I just use Photoshop. That's all I have ever needed, but different things. You guys need different things, and you guys all operate in different ways. So that's why we're giving you all of these tools and all of the knowledge that goes behind them, because you all are so unique, and what works for one might not work for everyone. And that kind of goes into another question that I get a lot. How long will this take me to learn it with the platform tools? I and nobody else can answer that for you. We do not have that answer. We will never have that answer. We don't know your background. We don't know your time commitment to learning. And we don't know like your skill set. We cannot tell you how long this is gonna take you, okay? You have to get in there and make mistakes, and that's how you're gonna learn. That's how we all learned, because we get in there and we,
it takes as long as it takes.
Right, I can tell you I've been doing like, in the sense that Jenna's put the course together. She's been active for 2 years. Sarah also does one-on-one training. She has a course. I've been doing one-on-one training for the last 2 years. I've trained almost 175 hours with interior designers and chief architect. It's the ones that put the time in that get the highest turnaround. If you're willing to spend the time and learn it, and I mean, shoot, you have the time now, you're gonna get the most benefits. If you were like me trying to learn violin when I was 8 years old and only wanted to practice during the class, you're only gonna get as far as practicing during class.
Right.
Yeah. And you have to not, you have to be okay with making a mistake or messing up, because that's how you learn.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
that's where Photoshop is amazing.
Yeah.
It helps you with a lot of those mistakes.
It does. It does. But that's the thing. Get in there and have fun with it. Get frustrated with it. Walk away from it for an hour and come back. Like,
refresh your
frustrated.
window. Refresh your
window. Please refresh your window, because that fixes like everything.
Like the platform auto saves. Like, you guys have probably rendering in the platform or working in the platform has like the best safety net ever, because you don't have to hit Control S all the time. Yeah, there's a save button, but it auto saves all the time. So if
Floor Planner didn't, and that was
it's acting weird, if things are weird, just close out all the windows, open a new one. It almost works. What is it? 60% of the time it works 100% of the time.
Yeah. Yeah, it really is kind of a lifesaver for sure.
It is.
But you will get frustrated. We're going to promise you that. We have all gotten so frustrated so many times that we want to pull our hair out and scream. But that's part of learning. It just is. And we wish we could take that away from you, but we know that that's what's making you better. So sometimes we just kind of let you breathe, let you figure it out, and then you're so much better and so much stronger for making that error and then teaching yourself how to fix it.
With all those errors, you end up learning 2 or 3 other things along the way too that you had no idea were even possible.
Yeah.
You know, it's, you gotta crawl before you can walk, you know, and just figure it out. And once you figure it out, you're gonna be awesome.
Yeah. And Mimi just said she learned Photoshop in 2 lessons. Mimi, I still have to get you that shadow video, I'm sorry, but in 2 lessons from my course, and she is not techie, and she makes beautiful concept boards. I don't know if you guys have seen that. Okay, let's move on a little bit, because here we are almost at an hour. We don't have much left for you, but I do want to get to some questions here. Integrations, we do have different integrations that go with this program. You can import and export drawing files. We're going to have clickable walkthroughs. There's 720 tours, which means that if you do the entire house, you can link your panoramic views together, and then panoramics is what is going to have the shoppable links in them. So as you're walking through the entire house, you have a site navigation, and then you have clickable, shoppable products as people are virtually walking through the space. It's amazing. So we will, like I said, they're coding that for all of you guys still. I don't know if you guys know this, but the program is out of China. They were set back. They were set back with some things. So thank you for your patience. My phases were off because when I first calculated, this wasn't happening. So we do have a few delays for that reason, but it is what it is. We'll all get there. And then you can create some pretty killer renders. So let's talk about Sketchup and Chief Architect, when you use it and when maybe you don't need to use it. So Sarah, do you want to start with Sketchup?
Totally. So, and something I want to like preface this with is that you don't have to use any of these programs for the platform. You can exist solely on the platform if you choose. Totally fine. However, knowing these other programs do kind of provide an advantage in the sense that SketchUp communicates directly with the platform, meaning you want to do anything super custom, all that, those all have to be SketchUp models. So, you know, maybe knowing SketchUp, you can create your own model, save some time, save some money, you're not farming stuff out. I love SketchUp. I've been using it a bazillion years since it first came out in like 2004. And literally, I just lost my train of thought.
Well, when do you use it?
Yeah, so you use it for customization, or you can use it to bring in and edit free models that you get from the SketchUp Warehouse, and that's one of the videos that I did that's on the platform, like how to prep your model for upload from the 3D Warehouse. So SketchUp is really the gateway into the platform. So with that said, that doesn't leave anybody else out, because through SketchUp, we can bring our other friends, other programs through. And Kelly will tell you how that works.
Wait, what? I was reading all the comments.
Yeah, I know. It kind of has to do with that, the comments. Chief Architect basically is one avenue that you can use. So if you are a Chief Architect user, how would you integrate that?
So it's Chief Architect or Home Designer. So for generally when I talk to interior designers, I do a lot of, in some ways, consulting for interior designers as to which purchase they want to make. I generally direct them to either Home Designer Pro, is the lowest I'll generally tell them to go, all the way up to Chief Architect Premier. So you've got 3 that I will generally tell interior designers, hey, this is the best way to invest, especially if you end up wanting professional permit level like CDs. That being said, I can like duck. This rendering behind me was completely modeled in Chief. It was, if you guys want to see the final pictures, you can check out the contractor. They're at Simply Sold Austin. You can see final pictures of this project that were built. I did, within less than 20 hours, I drove down to Austin, which was an hour. I did 2 hours of takeoffs, and then I drove back, and then I did 2 design concepts, process or set up the whole thing, plus doing multiple reviews for it with the designer in less than 20 hours. I then took this when I had the chance and brought it into the platform this last week. And I had it exported into SketchUp, from SketchUp into here. And within less than an hour of playing around in it, I got this rendering. So I am now telling designers that if they don't have the computer capacity to be able to handle this, 100% invest in Home Designer Pro. if you haven't already invested in one of the upper tier softwares of Chief Architect. And you have the now capabilities of being able to do this rendering without having to invest in a $3,000 computer.
That's amazing. And it actually looks so much better when it's not on Zoom. I just closed the share so you guys could see what's behind her. Zoom is kind of making it look a little blurry, but it's not in real life. So your chair is still kind of coming through. But it's great. It like really does create high quality. So what you just said was basically, if you don't want to render it or your computer can't render it, then this is a great way for you to pay right now $37 for my platform, which will be going up, and get that quality without killing your computer.
Because the only program that I've seen that is similar to the functionality and how quick the platform renders is Lumion. And that's a $3,000 program in addition to like a $5,000 computer that can run it.
And it's only Windows compatible. So if you are a Mac junkie, you can't use it unless you partition, which kind of makes the whole.
But what I'm getting at though is that this alleviates that investment. Is
right.
You know, you don't have to invest in a new computer, although every 3 years you probably should update, but you're not having to go out and spend thousands and thousands of dollars on a computer to run a $3,000 program. So this right there is alleviating a lot of overhead, which we all love. Trim the fat, right?
So Kimberly just asked how you export it. Right now it's saying DAE and STL. I'm actually working on to see what other options there are as well, so that if you're spending all this time putting textures in, my hopes is that it can do it so that they're still intact. So which, to give you an idea what I'm working on, I was able to export using a different file type, and that's where this one came from. So there are some materials that you need to reassign. There's some materials that are just like freaking awesome that are in the platform that it just makes more sense to use them. So that's what I'm working with Jenna and Sarah on that right now, and I have a feeling I'll be working with Annalie as well.
Again, Kelly literally just came back from maternity leave, so we're giving her a second to catch up and breathe and play around, but she's gonna have so much more for us. And then Annalie does this, so she's done it a few times. I actually have if you go to eDesignTribe.com, that beautiful image at the top, she did in Chief, right? And then you moved it to SketchUp, and then you moved it over to the program. Again, you don't have to do that, guys. Like, you can use the program as it is. You can use the free options available. Sarah keeps doing videos to show you how to use the free SketchUp version to like create simple models and then bring them in. There's ways around it. We just want to make sure that you know that, okay? There's different things.
And then to answer Cynthia's question about AutoCAD, AutoCAD's there. You can import your AutoCAD, your DWG that we saw last slide, floor plan in, and those walls extrude. Meaning if, you know, the walls are there. And remember, Jenna, the first time I did that, and I had to call you because I was freaking out how awesome that was. Yeah, and then you can export DWGs, which is AutoCAD, so you can do elevations and floor plans and things like that. But it's already communicating with AutoCAD. We just don't have a lot of AutoCAD users, so we don't talk about it a lot.
Yeah, AutoCAD I feel like is very technical, and it's I don't know that many people.
I still use it because a lot of my designers, we use it for millwork drawings and things like that.
Okay.
AutoCAD's not going anywhere. It's just,
no, it's not. But it's not like a bump-in program right now. People aren't really.
No,
like,
it's not.
We'll learn AutoCAD. Yeah, I learned that 10 years ago. Okay, so virtual staging. I just wanted to throw this in because I keep getting a lot of questions. A lot of people ask me, can I take my room picture and then put it into the render program? And I just want to explain how that doesn't work, because you're working in two different dimensions. Okay, so if you're considering that a photograph is technically like a 2D image, it's flat. And then if you go to upload it into a render software, which is 3-dimensional, it doesn't work. It doesn't work that way, because you need to have some kind of a file that is 3D. If you do plan on importing anything like that CAD drawing file, and then that imports into the program in 3 dimensions. 2D virtual staging, which is, you know, just taking your photograph, very well lit photograph, and putting it into Photoshop. And then you can add 2D pictures, because if you have a picture, you can only add a picture on top of it. So if you go and grab a JPEG or a PNG file and then put that in Photoshop over your image of the space, that's how those two work. So 2D stays with 2D, so image flat files stay together, and then 3D models, SketchUp models that you can import, which are literally, you can spin them in the program and see all the sides. That imports into the 3D modeling program. So 2 different techniques and 2 different outcomes, really. Okay, what if I don't want to invest in learning this? Like, yeah, half of you guys probably don't want to do this. That's totally fine. You can hire somebody that does. You can go to the designer to designer directory on edesigntribe.com and look at all the people that offer skills like this. I will be working on the directory after Designer 5 launches to yes, bounce some people around so that it is a little bit out of order. I saw that comment, and change up like just formatting in general, but I'm also going to add a link that says I use SketchUp, I use Chief Architect, I use the platform rendering, and then I do virtual staging, all that stuff. So it's there, you guys can see it, but I don't break it down by program at this time. But you can certainly just go there, ask in the eDesign Tribe, ask in the eDesign Tribe platform, presentation by design with these 2 ladies in their Facebook group. They can certainly help you there too. And then you can join the platform, and then you can have your own affiliate links once you join, because if you hire somebody else in the platform to do this, they're going to be using all of their own affiliate links probably. Like, that's what's preloaded under their name. So if you outsource to somebody in the program, you want to use affiliate links and not just do a unlinked render or concept board, you really have to have your own account.
In the way that the platform's set up to share links, so to make this all shoppable, it's such a pretty package, but the person who creates this for you has all their own, it'll have their email at the top, it'll have all their contact info. So you need to be a part of the platform to really use it to the full benefits. And then all it is a matter of share the project, you copy the project into your login, and then everything changes and it's all yours and somebody else did all the work for you.
Yeah.
Well, and this
all
is another option. This is another portfolio possibility for anyone who's looking to get into the rendering VDA realm. If you are currently trying to become a virtual design assistant or add something, or let's say that you're not getting the same level of interaction for your own like your own design work, and you're thinking, hey, let me help someone else. Like they've said, this is still relatively new. You can still learn this and get on the forefront of it so that you can help other e-designers, so that you become so specialized in this, like Nancy, and like we said at the beginning, niche is rich. You can niche into being the one who really, really knows this really well. And here's a perk. If you get to that point, who's to say Sarah and Jenna and Annalie and whatnot may not be reaching out to you and be like, hey, you've been working in this. What can we do?
Just like what we did with Annalie. I was like, this is awesome. You can shoot great
Yeah.
videos. You want to come work for us? We're watching, guys. We're seeing what you're doing out there. All right, and then passive income, you gotta join the platform. That's how affiliates work. If you don't join the platform, I don't have your account to link any of your passive income affiliate to. So you just have to be a member. The affiliate program is not open to non-members. Okay, and then here's the last slide, and then we'll answer a few questions here. So Sarah's course is SketchUp for renders. Totally thought it was called SketchUp for interior designers. My bad. It all is. And then I will be sending out this.
That's another course.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
My bad, sorry. And then mine, the platform, and then eDesign U is where I have all the other courses. Platform is for the tools. eDesign U is for how to use those tools and how to implement them and how to do your website and how to market yourself and Photoshop basics and everything else that's not on the platform. Just a side note, there is a quick render course that I have included there. It will be converting over to more of a presentation course when we're done fully launching the entire platform, because I take care of my students. If you guys have enrolled in that, you spent good money on it. I'm going to give you the next step to that. The reason why programs change and we adapt to what is the best thing for our business and for me to be able to teach you. Therefore, I no longer use Floor Planner and Photoshop to merge things like I was doing. There is still the 2D quick render drop-in rendering in that program, in the quick render program, and then I'll be adding more about presentation techniques, how to angle your camera, how to literally present everything in a highly effective way. And then kind of like whatever else we need to, go over in that course as it relates to that topic. So that'll be coming after the launch of everything when all the programs are up and running, so that nobody's left hanging. Okay, so if you are doing the full access course, just know it will be updated, but you have plenty of stuff you can get into before that happens anyway. And then Kelly has Chief Architect for Interior Designers, and that is launching soon. So she's doing a pre-order right now.
There's also one for Home Designer Pro.
Okay. So are they two separate?
They're two separate. So because Home Designer, anyone who knows the difference, Home Designer is pretty stripped down. So there's more workarounds to be able to use that to its full potential. So it's just a smaller course versus the Chief Architect bundle has 4 separate courses in it. So there's a Getting Started, which is, we're just going to go over it really quickly. Not really quickly. I have a feeling it's going to be pretty extensive. And then the other things that I have found are requested all the time, which is putting it to layout, custom millwork and cabinetry, and then ray tracing. So if you do have a computer and you want to do ray tracing, if you've looked at my website and like the style of renderings, I teach you how to do that.
Perfect. Okay, let's see if there's any questions that we haven't answered. I'm pretty sure I just answered that one. I don't know if it came in before or not. If you are a member of eDesign U, do you still need the platform? Again, 2 separate entities. There is not overlap. So we teach you how to use the rendering program. When we launch the affiliate and eShop and Design in 5 software, we're going to have extensive videos for that. And then eDesign U is totally not those things. So yes, you would. If you wanted to join the platform, it is not included in the eDesign U courses. You don't have to. That's part of the thing that I do in my courses and that I've always done, is teach you different techniques. So different ways of presenting your shopping list, different ways of laying out your website for self-hosted, like whatever you want to do, I'm trying to provide you with tools that help you in any way that they adapt to your personal business. And if the platform's not for you, then it's not for you. I don't want to pigeonhole my students into having to use the platform. Okay.
I want to bring something up because I'm talking to Michelle right now, and she's asking about how well Chief will work with the platform and what the point is other than processing it. And this is honestly, I think the platform, for those of you who do kitchens and baths and renovations, I think this is insanely valuable. In the sense of you can still do your full CD sets. You can still use Chief and Home Designer to its full potential. You can go through all of your presentations. You can do everything that you want. Here's the perk though. After you've gone ahead and you've done your, let's say you have a few concepts, you can export that, bring that into the platform, and you can process it, and when it's available, you can have those shoppable links. So let's say that you are a designer who's like, I do 1-step review. I'll give them 3 concepts. They can pick which one that they want. And hey, you know, I'm not coordinating the cabinets. Someone else is going to do that. But hey, here's the faucet, here's the tub, here's the tile, here's all that or other stuff. You make sure that it also is noted on those drawings. So you're providing them a full presentation. You're no longer going and doing your sheets and then you're sending them like your Mydoma or Dubsado, unless you really want to. It's 100% your option. You're able to do all of that and full permit set. So that's where I think that this is insanely valuable. And for me, I'm actually looking forward to being able to do this when it's available, because it's going to allow me that much more option where I'm not just turning around and be like, here's the specs based off of everything we talked about. Here's where you can buy it. Go ahead, because I don't like coordinating shopping. I don't really want to do that. I'll just tell them what to buy. But now that Anthropologie wallpaper that I showed them, I can show them that and I can make money off of it.
So wallpapers and textures import basically as a model in the system. And Sarah, I know I'm trying to dumb this down for myself so I can explain it, but basically it imports the same way that if you were to grab a sofa and import it in, you do the same thing, but there's a texture area. So those textures are also shoppable when you do that. Now we do have a limit on how many things you guys can upload into your personal library. You can always delete things out if you need it immediately, but if you go over that, we are unlimited. So our whole account is unlimited for 4K renders, HD renders, which you have a 200 limit on those. But when you go over that, you just send it to us. Same with models, and we will add it to the enterprise library. We will generate those 4Ks for you free of charge. We have the capabilities to do that. Now, there's a few people that have done that. There's a few people that are pooling together to create models. We only pay for models that are in the eShop or will be in the eShop, and that's what we're building right now. Because I'm not buying your models. Like I literally paid for this entire thing myself. I'm not buying your models. I'm sorry. You guys can pull yours together and you can do that together. If you want to, we have people in place that can help you build them. We have another program in place that can also build them through Kuhon. But we will not be doing that for you guys. I just want to make sure we're very clear on that because I've said it a few times and I think there was some questions.
And I also want to mention that, like, if you guys are sending like 50 models, like this is a very lengthy process. So be very mindful of what you're sending us. You guys, like this takes up a lot of time. So with that said, you can also delete models out of your private library and they don't disappear out of your project. So kind of keep in mind, don't just send us, 200 models to upload. That are just, random things
that you need tomorrow, because we will not be able to do that. It takes hours. It takes hours.
I have to apply every material manually. So please, please, please be very mindful though of what you send. Like, don't just send like, oh, I just want this because I want it. It doesn't, serve a purpose. So, please be mindful of that because it does take a long time to upload these.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Brenda wants to know how to send those. I did put that in place, and now I can't remember where.
Is there a type form that we're doing for that?
No, it's email.
Okay.
Brenda, I'm sorry, my brain is fried right now too. There is a link. I feel like I put it on the onboarding site, but I need to double check.
Oh, there's a video for changing the backgrounds.
Is it under your video section?
Yes.
Okay, so go to, I'll go to the homepage onboarding section or just directly to the video training tutorials. I've literally put these buttons on every single page that you guys have, so they are on there. And I'm about to redo everything so it is using icons and super simple. But for right now, go to the training page and then you'll be able to find all Sarah's videos on there too. Sarah's done like 12 videos and she teaches you how to use free stuff and how to create all of your own models for artwork, rugs, all of that stuff so that you're set up.
Which is the same procedure you use to change every material. It doesn't matter if it's a TV screen, a rug, the background, it all works the same way. So you guys, like, literally, like, once you figure it out, once that light goes on, you're gonna be like, oh, I get this. Now I can change everything.
Yeah. Sharon, have you done help desk tickets? I do not have control over the development side of Kuhon. So if it's going down for you, first we recommend close out all of your windows. You have to consider this is a massive program that is being run in your browser. If this was happening with Sketchup or Chief Architect and things started glitching, we would automatically shut down our computer and restart it, right? So we have to be doing that for our browser and give it a break for a little bit too and then come back. Now, if that doesn't fix it, I need you to communicate this to the help desk ticket. I am not the person to do that to. I don't build this program. They are your direct communication line through that help ticket. It goes right to China, right to the developers.
Later that day.
Yeah, well, let them wake up first and then they'll answer it for you.
Right now. So yeah, but no, the matter of closing all your windows and starting over has resolved every single issue I've had.
Yeah, me too. But I do understand that, like I said, they are building that linking process for us. So there's ongoing continuous work as they're coding that on the back end. So there might be random things. Who told you to contact Sarah? Sarah does not know how to develop a render software. She just knows tips and tricks. So I will talk to them about that. Yes, that's your husband's response. There you go. Just restart it. Don't panic.
Yeah.
Don't panic. Breathe, restart, and then you're good to go.
Phil told him.
Okay, we'll have a conversation with Phil then.
Yeah.
Yeah, Phil is our sales rep in New York. So he's also not a tech guy. So that's why we talked to Carol about it. Okay, I'm attempting to compile all these questions in case if you're missing anything. Okay, is there anything else, guys, that you wanted us to address before we hop off? I hope that this was super informative and answered like all those, random questions that we have flying around right now where it's like, yeah, what do I do?
Does anyone have any questions that maybe isn't based off of all three of our experiences working virtually that maybe aren't directly related to the platform or SketchUp or Chief Architect? Like, does anyone have any questions about processes, how we've worked, any interactions we have with clients, anything like that? Because there's some people on here that may just be like, I am so computer illiterate. I just want to be able to know how to talk to somebody, the best way to do it, any of those sorts of things. So because I think the platform's amazing. I obviously think Chief Architect's amazing and SketchUp's amazing. But we've been working in it for so long that it's second nature to us. But some of us really want to know, hey, how do I get started? I'm completely lost and I'm completely overwhelmed and I'm being told to write blog posts and I'm told to do this. And like we said, niche is rich. So if you're not a blog writer and you think that you need to draw SEO, hire someone. So some of us don't even have that in our bank account right now. So don't work on that. Work on something that for you can take a breath, and maybe even if it means that you zone out for 2 hours, if it gets your mind off of the news, then it's probably a good way to disconnect and work on your business. If it's something that adds to your level of stress and makes you overwhelmed, don't do it right away. Do something
Hire it out.
that you look forward to. But if you can't even hire it out, and just the idea of adding Zoom is like the furthest that you can go right now, add Zoom. Yep. And then when you feel pretty confident with that, because I can tell you, you're going to feel pretty confident with that the minute you realize, oh, it's a link. You guys all figured out how to get here. If you don't have a camera, you can buy cameras. Might as well probably buy one before Amazon decides that they're sold out of that and you won't get one of those.
They're not shipping. You can't order right now from Amazon.
Because I mean, unless the doctor says that they need a webcam, I don't think that they're going to count as medical supplies.
Just to answer some questions though, really quick, Kelly, we have some coming in. Sure. Does it create a shopping list? Yes, you get a bill of materials. Yeah, that can be exported.
Right now, like that's ready now. And I shot a video on that for how you guys can use that. So what happens is you drop all these things in, whether it's from the enterprise library, the white label library, which literally is just white label products that you can change out the fabrics and textures to. And then at the end, you create and export a bill of materials. It automatically downloads every single item that you have in there, even the doors and windows too. And you can go through, and it's an Excel spreadsheet. You can just add your links or add an invoice to it. It generates it immediately. Well, it takes like 2 minutes. But
yeah, 2 minutes. But
yeah.
You have the option to include the image of like the actual model that's been imported or not, and all the details, and like literally the amount of information that you get out of that it generates is just insane. It's really impressive. And this is just like the starting point. It's going to get better.
Yeah, somebody had asked about vendors. I just want to say, we literally launched this a month ago. So I have my core vendors that we're starting with. And you have to remember that for the e-commerce store, the e-shop, we only are accepting vendors at this time that can ship direct to the end user. I'm not facilitating warehouses all across the country at this moment, nor do I ever plan to want to. But there are other shipping options that we have. So right now, we are only rolling out with core vendors. And no, I don't have a list for you right now because I think this week we're about to add a lot more. And for the past month, I've been talking to at least a dozen more other vendors, but I will not release the names of them until I have contracts signed and products in hand, and I know that we're rolling out with them. So for right now, I mean, we're with Kristen Drohan, Getty Images, which is this beautiful Slim Aarons behind me. They're doing their higher end photos through our site. God, who else? Rebel Woods. Well, we're going to be selling flooring, guys, through an affiliate program with Rebel Woods, which is an online program with a line that's exclusive to our platform, that is designer curated with not only wood floors, but they just are releasing a eco-friendly flooring line through us only, exclusively, which purifies the air with their flooring. So we're going to be rolling that out, but like, you have to understand, these things take so much time. I've been doing this for 3 years, but right now is go time. So we are organizing, categorizing, uploading, signing contracts. I don't have the list for you yet, but when I do, I promise you I will share it with you, okay? There's more vendors, I just didn't even, yeah, but we're looking for low end, high end. We want your suggestions, but they have to be wholesale. We're not doing retail, okay? That's not how we make money as designers. We go wholesale. Okay.
Okay, so for anybody who's feeling overwhelmed, like just like kind of like take a breath in, maybe make a list of, you know, what you have, or just your ideas of where you want your business to go, you know, moving forward, and just break this up into little digestible pieces. We're not trying to overwhelm anybody with all this. Like, just, it's okay. We're all navigating this together. But we're all feeling kind of, I guess, overwhelmed in different ways.
Okay, let me jump in on the website thing real quick. So right now, if you want to get your website in order, I, for one, think that is #1 priority. You got to get that thing in order, because if you're starting to drive traffic and jumping ahead and skipping that step, there's going to be a massive disconnect, and nobody will know how to hire you, what you do. You don't have a website that is complete and thorough. So in my eDesign U Basics course, that's what I go over. I say, all right, we need to make a website. What are the things we need on our website to get rolling, right? Like, just to get out there. And that's like an about section, your services, your portfolio boards. If you have testimonials, if you have a blog, but they're not necessary, you just need a nice, simple site. I recommend Squarespace for that, because it's great for SEO. It's very user-friendly. I go over how to use it in my courses, and it's fairly simple to use once you get a nice template in place. So
and Kelly and I both use Squarespace.
Yes, I use Squarespace.
Yeah, they're beautiful.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they're better than, so I have a girlfriend that I worked with who's an SEO specialist for creatives. And she told me 2 years ago, when I had Wix, that it's like a dead space for SEO and to switch. So I had literally 6 months before built my Wix website. And the minute she said that, I switched over to Squarespace, ate the cost, and started writing blogs based off of the keywords that she told me to use. And it immediately started driving traffic. You cannot drive traffic to Wix like you can with Squarespace or WordPress. So you guys may be very drawn to Wix like I was, because it's very easy. Their templates are easy to work with, but you're spending money and you're losing SEO capabilities. So, and if you're not sure about SEO, 100% look into it. If you want to reach out to me, I can direct you to who she is. She is pretty darn amazing. And she knows our industry because she worked with me at an architecture firm for 2.5 years.
Awesome. But Kiki's commenting. We have Kiki's bedding, actually, which is only sold through us right now, right, Kiki? Well, will be. And she has some beautiful bedding that Sarah's creating 3D models for us. So you guys can use them and tag her bedding in our program as well. That's the thing. If you guys have e-commerce stores where you sell products either totally unique to you that you create yourself and you sell them right on your site, we would love to have you. Kiki has been in the eDesign tribe for what, Kiki, since like the beginning here. And she just started this line with her Italian made bedding. And I asked her immediately when I heard about it, because that's awesome. I want to support your businesses as well. So if you sell direct or wholesale, or, you know, can give us through the eDesign tribe wholesale pricing, we can sell through our store and double your sales, basically. Okay, so as long as you're not selling the same products as us, we would love to do that because it expands our catalog and it helps you with your small business. So like people that make pillows, people that make templates, fabrics, any of that stuff that you can buy by the yard, artwork that is, you know, shippable, sellable, like it's amazing. We can do that for you guys and get that out in front of our other designers through the Design in 5 software, through our eShop, through the render program. That's how this all works. We help each other with that. Okay. Somebody asked about self-hosted. So what self-hosted eDesign is I've never, okay, I'm not gonna say never, I tried design files, I was off that real quick, but I have never used an outside platform for my business. I use my website, and that's what I refer to as self-hosting, because when I collaborate with my clients, I'm already paying for a website. So what I can do is create their own landing page within my website. You can make it password protected or not. And then I have everything right there. And I literally have templates in my self-hosted course for you guys to do this yourself with Squarespace or WordPress. And you can basically build your client's entire process and presentation on their own website page within your site. It's helping you to drive traffic to your website. It's leveling up your amount of time that people are staying on your website. So it's helping your Google Analytics. And it's you own it. You own your website. You're not giving somebody else your traffic and sending them to another third-party site. When you send your clients to your presentation, that's on your website. That's what self-hosted is. It just helps you build your business and allows for Google to understand that you are online, because if you don't have any traffic going there, Google's like, doesn't even know who you are. So this helps you in the long run because you're not sending people to design files where design files is profiting from all your website traffic. You're not paying a third party for another membership. Like you're using your existing website that you're already paying for. You can sell products through it. You can use affiliate through it. Pretty soon the Design in 5 boards are going to be embeddable. So you can just embed that shopping list right into your web page and just sell all your products right from there. So yes, you can use these other programs as a, like, you know, your main, and then use this as a plugin. You do not have to do that. Okay, you can do this all with your own website, cut down on costs, and do it that way. And eDesignU.com, it's the self-hosted course. That's what it is. And I've always done that. That is just how my website grew to be what it is. You can save things directly from Pinterest right there. Like Pinterest has been how I've started all of this traffic to my site. Okay, what else? Is that it? You guys can certainly ask us questions here in the group if you'd like. In the eDesign Tribe main group. Email, okay, the email one that I use is Active Campaign. So that's why I say, please don't direct message me on Facebook. I will forever lose that. You guys have no idea how many direct messages I get every day, and I'm like, please stop. But if you can, just go to eDesignTribe.com, eDesignU.com. There's a little chat button in the bottom, and it is powered by Active Campaign. It is definitely lunchtime. So if you just go to those, they actually link right over to my CRM right on my website. So I can chat with you. And then if you're off the site later, I just email you. And it's automatic. So that little chat that pops up on eDesign Tribe or eDesignU.com, it goes to my email provider, which is Active Campaign. And then I never lose a message from you guys. Like I pretty much always can guarantee I will do on Facebook. Well, all right. I think that we're gonna call it.
Everybody's kids are crying. Time to.
I've been crying for about half an hour and I locked them upstairs. So
yeah, mine are all done in the pool and everything. Christine, do you recommend designing eDesign U first? You can do it simultaneously. So if you want to join and start, I would start with the first course, which is Basics, eDesign Business Basics. Oh, they're 30% off right now, guys. Just activated that this morning. Sorry, totally forgot. eDesign 2020 is the code. 30% off. Not putting an end date on it because I'm doing this as long as this coronavirus thing is going on because you guys need the tools. So I would start there and then maybe join the platform when you're ready. Like there is no pressure here, okay?
And just so you guys know that are asking for links to Sarah and I's, if you are not part of Presentation by Design, definitely join it. If you don't mind me putting that like the tag in there, Jenna. But and we'll go ahead and we'll put links on the info page for the group. So anyone who's interested, you can sign up for it. So, and as mine says, it's pre-order. So it's set to launch mid-May. So that just gives you an idea if you need immediate coaching or help, you need to buy the one-on-one.
Yeah, and I will release this PDF too. So you guys have all the links.
Oh,
these are clickable links.
Perfect. And I have $300 off my course. So that's like almost 50% off until we find a cure.
Right.
Promo
like that
code
end date.
Banter. Yeah. So let's all try to help each other and, get through this, navigate the waters. So
we'll put the codes up for you too. Susan, did you have a question?
No, I'm good.
Oh, okay.
Oh, thank you.
How are you doing?
Okay.
You were unmuted, so I just want to make sure.
Oh, okay. Yeah, people were talking, so.
All right, cool. We'll get all these links up. I'm just going to download this and then I'll upload it to YouTube. So there will be subtitles when I do that on YouTube. So just give me a little bit. I'm going to deal with the fam for a little bit and then I'll get this up later on and then get back in Facebook later today and interact a little bit. Okay. All right, guys, thank you so much. We greatly appreciate you all being here. It's been kind of a fun hour and a half for a Sunday.
Thanks for joining. It was great seeing y'all.
Yeah.
Thank you.
All right, guys.
Thanks, guys.
Enjoy the rest of the weekend. Bye.
Thank you. Bye.